So after my grandma left, and then I wound up losing my 2-month-old son. And I think that kind of like made Duck, because Duck was a granny's boy. He would ride on the back of my granny wheelchair. He didn't come outside. And I do kind of take accountability for that because of my drug use. And
But the 2-month-old thing was the thing with the fire?
no.
Oh, that was a separate
my
situation.
sister. That was his sister. Yes, 2014. Now, I was clean when I lost her.
Okay.
That was the first tragedy happened to me since I was clean.
And what happened with the 2-month-old?
My nephew accidentally suffocated him while they were asleep.
I'm sorry.
So, he didn't know. And my sister was getting ready for school, and she kept asking, like, where's the baby? Where's the baby? And my nephew was still asleep on him. And when they moved him, he was under him. So that's how I lost. Yeah. My first baby that died before I had Duck, I was actually protecting Jermaine and Sheldon because we were in a park. And they used to shoot up everything. Like it wasn't, like I said, it ain't like it is now, but we still had shootouts and gangs were into it with each other, and they would come shoot the store up. And there was a liquor store in the park right across the street. This one we had the CHA police station. We had our own police, like the Chicago police. We had our own police.
Uh-huh.
So somebody rode past, I was on 37 and Cottage, 38th and Cottage. And the people that know what I'm talking about, they know it. And a car drove past shooting. And I got Brick and Shell in the park. Now, this was for Brick's birthday, because Brick's birthday was the 19th of August. So I got them in the park, and somebody came. So my first instinct was to grab them. I didn't know where to shoot, so I dived on them. But I fell on my stomach some type of way. But I wasn't in no pain or nothing. It's like 7 months pregnant at the time.
Oh, shit.
So I wasn't in no pain or nothing, but the next day when I woke up, my granny's whole bed was like pink. So they let me know my water bag busted or something, and they rushed me to the hospital. And it's funny because after I had them, the doctors was telling me, because he didn't want to come. Somehow I was in labor, but it was left to like they probably had to give me a cesarean or something if he didn't come in a certain amount of time because the contractions was coming. So they telling me, well, the next, if we have to give you a cesarean, if I had any more kids after that, that's how I would have to have them. The way they would have to cut that. Like, I could never vaginally deliver any more kids. By this time, this is my third child. And I'm, 17? Yeah, it's my third child, 17. Now, I remind you, I got the best grandma, not so perfect mama, a lot of uncles. I got structure, but I'm just doing what I want to do.
Uh-huh.
Doing my own free will, so. He wound up coming, and then Duck was born after him, and I vaginally had him. Like, if the doctors say, like, if he don't come within the next hour, we're gonna have to give you a cesarean, and if you got pregnant after that, that's how you gonna have your kids. For now, shit, that baby came on up out that thing, baby. Let me get on up out of here. My mama gotta hide these goats. I ain't gonna mess her up like that. And I had him, and he was born August 20th. Now, Brick's birthday was the 21st. Y'all tell this story. That's why I'm saying, I don't want to say I'm a prophet, but I have such a spiritual connection with the God of my understanding. Like, I literally don't fear nothing. Like, not afraid to die, don't want to die. But if that's my time, that's God's will. It was written. We don't know how our life gonna be. That's why I say Carlton DeQuan Weekly ain't die for nothing. Because his death gonna bring down the floodgates of Ricos, gangs, how they doing shit, how they moving. That's all because of Duck.
But okay, there's a whole thing in the streets where you're not supposed to be happy when someone that you hate on a street level gets arrested or gets charged with something. But you've been pretty open about the
Because
fact.
I'm not a street person anymore.
Right.
Now, if I was still street, speaking of my street self, I probably would have been active out there. But with 18 grandkids, and who 2 of them ain't got no father, that ain't the type of image that I want to portray. When I found out that I had the power, motherfuckers tell me, all you gotta do is say this and it's done. I'm like, is you serious? Like, I don't want it like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be like this lady who, no, because I knew what my son was. Like, him and Brick, everybody be like, you don't talk like the fans, they be trolling. She always talk about Duck, but she don't talk about Brick. It's so many reasons why I don't talk about Brick. Because even though that was my son, like, it got so bad with me with Brick. Like, our relationship was so, like, me and my son, man, I just could sit here and just think, like, in my addiction, I would do security for him while he sold drugs. When Duck really said in that song, Dead Bitches, when he say, wait a minute, what did he say? Why he was selling rocks and blows, you was somewhere swimming. Yeah. That's straight rap. Them facts.
So because Duck was younger, he got to see a better version of you?
Yes, like my son is the reason I got clean. My son, Duck was like, you ever saw The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock?
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen how couldn't nobody keep that boy away from his mama? Even though he was indifferent for now, that didn't never happen to Duck. Because like I say, my granny raised my kids, and I wasn't an absentee mother. There'll be one house, I'll be across the street or at my auntie house. Like, it's one big community, so I wasn't like, I take accountability for, I was just dealt the cards I was dealt, but I'm glad I had the type of grandmother that I had. Because she enabled me a lot. So I was able to get out here and just do the shit and just. But Duck, after I lost his brother, that was real traumatic because a lot of people don't know, and this is the first time that I ever spoke about this. But when I lost my son,
Brick.
no, Antonio.
All right, Antonio.
That was Duck's first tattoo. Now, he was like 13. This one, he was going to Hinton because my sister stayed on 71st and Parnell. So this where he met JoJo and Kenny Mack. They all went to the same grammar school together. So while I was in treatment, Duck used to have, they would allow me to go still be a part of my kids' life. Like, I'm their mother. They would let me go up, like, if the schools called, they would let me go teachers' conferences. And like, because I was real, we just lost my granny. She was the rock. Then we actually lost Antonio before we lost my grandmother. So, Duck, seeing all this, and it sent him into, like, I don't want to say a depression, but this is where he started acting out at. He was in Hartgrove. That's a behavior hospital. He was in Rivers Edge. That's another behavior hospital. He went to the Audi home a couple of times. You know what I'm
Just
saying?
because he was acting up so bad in school?
Yes. Like, one day they literally had to wheel him out on a stretcher because he had like 7 pencils in each one of his hands. This Carlton. Now, this before 63rd. This was before any of this stuff. And my baby was put in a behavior hospital, and that was the first tattoo that he ever got was my son's name.
Wait, what did he do with the pencils?
He just was holding them like he was going to stab whoever touched him, but he was restrained. He was in restraints. He like literally, and he got over that. He was actually, He got over that, like, because I was there. He wasn't nobody but his mama, so he had me. And he told me, you being off drugs is the best thing you could have ever did for us, because he was really the reason. And I smoked Primos, y'all. I wasn't a free base or a dolphin. And I done seen some horrible shit.
I need everybody to check out NoJumper.com. We officially started a blog. It has in-depth articles about current events, music, etc., plus all of our content in terms of podcasts, interviews, etc. And you can get some exclusive new merch if you check out NoJumper.com. So make sure you tap in.